Sorry, I'm trying to focus and I'm getting text messages. I'm trying to pull this up. So it's recording. Yes, we're recording. Okay, so we're talking about the moon. We're talking about the power path. Go to thepowerpath.com. Okay. All right, so it says you can read it. Basically, the theme for this month, every month has kind of like a theme because things are shifting and changing, right? But this theme for this month was friction. So I want you guys just to take a minute and think about, because my phone's still blowing up here, when people are like, what's the Zoom ID again? Blah, blah, blah. Think about friction. Have you had any friction this month? Has there been anything that's been like in relationships or in business or in finances or in your jobs or kids or anything? Has there been any friction for you this month? Maybe a little bit more so than normal. Any friction? Okay. So yes, no, yes, some yeses. Okay. Maybe you guys are like, I don't know, I'm never paying attention to it. Well, each month there's a different topic or kind of theme of things to focus on or be aware of. And this month is super important. We're on our last week. So like, if you're like, oh my God, I didn't know any of this, now you can start to know some things. And these are just, I've always, like there's one astrologyzone.com. If you like astrology, I'm obviously you're born a certain time, certain day, it has meaning to it, right? So you can definitely follow that one if you want to. But I'm going to share with you some stuff on the, hang on one second. I'm getting one more message. Okay. It's all good. There's some are just running a teeny bit behind. Just a teeny bit behind. No problem. I've got to get them all their stuff. Okay. All right. So here I am, the 24th. Okay. This time frame, let me get one. Now I need my glasses. Yes, thepowerpath.com. Thanks, Kelsey. This time frame is more of the same supporting, so more of the same that's been going on this month, supporting you in commitments to change and being proactive with truthful decisions and choices. You may need to take some time for yourself if the energy gets too intense with other people's challenges, drama, judgments, and projections. It's important to stay with your own truth and not get distracted. What you set up for yourself now, this is like the most important sentence I want you guys to listen to me, okay? The most important sentence of this whole thing. What you set up for yourself now will carry through into next year as a foundation. So be thoughtful, committed, and determined. There's an aggressive quality to this time frame that can be used to your benefit. Watch for others who are not using it so well. So that's one of the reasons why when I was talking to one of the girls yesterday, I was like, man, this popped in again. I really need to share this stuff with you guys. And you may be like, oh, that's silly, that's stupid, whatever. It's all good, right? No judgment, whatever. But to me, this says, oh, wow. I need to pay a little bit more close attention to what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, what's important to me, what do I value, what do I want, what's my story, what's my goals, where do I see myself, not just this month, next month, 90 days, but this time next year. Because this says right here, what you set up for yourself now will carry through into next year as a foundation. So be thoughtful, be committed to you, to your goals. So I want you to just take a minute. Yes, Crystal, amazing. Write some things down, jot some things down. What's important to you? What do you want? What do you want your day to look like? Not just tomorrow, but all days, any day. If you could write out every day for 7 days, maybe you want them to look the same, maybe you want them to look different. Donna says, continue the transformation. What would it feel like if you had your ideal day? Like, what would your ideal day feel like? Because what if this is true? What if this is true that what you do right now for the rest of this month is going to set the foundation for the next year? Like, what if that's true? What if it is true? Are you going to like just haphazardly run through the rest of the month? Like, doodly doodly doo, whatever. I'm going to work. I'm going here. I'm talking to my boyfriend. I'm going with my girlfriend. I'm talking to my dad, blah, blah, blah. Just kind of going through the motions? Or are you going to be more intentional about your days or your nights or the people that you're talking to or spending your time with? What if that set everything up? I mean, what if it didn't? But what if it did? That's powerful. I don't know about you guys, but that's powerful to me. So it goes on to say, be thoughtful, committed, and determined. There's an aggressive quality to this time frame that can be used to your benefit. Aggressive, meaning things are going to start moving, things are going to start picking up. That's why I said in my little thing, I think we needed an attitude adjustment. Let's think about our attitudes. What are we wanting? What are we focusing on? I've sat down this month and I've wrote more this month than I have in probably a year with my story. I have about 16 pages right now, front and back, of things that I want, things that I love, experiences I want to have, places I want to go, things I want to do, who I want to be. Sorry. Dog, kids. My daughter's at camp and Trey's got a buddy over. Everything intentional. Everything. I love that, Rachel. Everything intentional. Your dog is not at camp. Taylor's at camp. The dog. My dog. Taylor's at camp and the dog's barking and the kids are running around playing and screaming. I forgot to shut the door. I know. Cry faces, right? Taylor is at camp. Yeah. So now we all can be as loud as we want. So Trey's running around the house with his buddy. All good. All right. So watch out for others that are not using this time frame well. That means you may need to distance yourself from some people that are negative or detrimental or harmful to you, or that are just toxic, right? We have people in our lives that are toxic. And when you're around toxic people, what do? They bring you down. When you're around people that are they're high vibe, what do? They bring you up. You feel good, right? I can have a conversation with Alana and then like 2 seconds later, I'm already feeling better, right? We can lift each other's energies up. And so that's part of it, is surrounding yourself and connecting yourself with people that are high vibe, that are like-minded, that, we all have life, we all have stuff. So give it 60 seconds to bitch and move on, right? Say what you got to say, vent, let it out. I'm pissed about this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you got to go. What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? What do I want? And so this is a super important time for that. Make sure you're balancing your time between social and personal alone time. I know a lot of people that I've talked to here recently do struggle with having their own time, that self-care, that alone time. They feel guilty, or they don't make time for it, or they're too exhausted, or there's nobody to watch the kids for this or that or whatever. And that's so important that you have time to yourself. So important that you do sometime every day. If you've got to get up 15 minutes earlier just so you can go sit and be quiet and enjoy your cup of coffee or read or write or journal, whatever you need to do, or if you need to stay up 15 minutes later so you can have that quiet time just to be and breathe and not be connected to a book or an iPad or social media or anything like that. Make sure you give yourself that time every day, because this balance between receiving inspiration and putting ideas into action, between creativity and positive destruction of what no longer serves, between internal and external focus, especially around your inner and outer environments. It's going to be really critical for the next week that you make some time between your social and personal time to balance, to have a little bit of time to yourself, okay? It's a very potent month where you can use friction to end up in a completely different place in your life with a great reset, new possibilities, and expand a sense of what is possible. And this is what I really want you guys to know. I'm going to read that to you again. It's a very potent month where you can use this friction, the crazy, the chaos, the arguments or the relationships or the business or the finances or whatever it is, friends, whatever, where there's been friction. Has it been coming in every area? I think sometimes it's been coming in every area, right? All of the areas. So it's a time where you can use that friction to end up in a completely different place in your life with a great reset, new possibilities, and expanded sense of what's possible. So it's not just to sit down and write the story. It's not just to sit down and make a list of the things that you want. It's not just to sit down and write out this is what my ideal day looks like. I mean, it is those things, but it's also, what are you going to do with that on a daily basis? What are you going to do with that list? What are you going to do with that story? It needs to stay present in front of mine. I've actually been carrying mine around with me in my purse, all the pages. I have pages from 3 different notebooks because I'm just grabbing different things at different times that I'm writing. And so I want you to think about being aware of it on a daily basis, pulling it out to read it on a daily basis. Yeah, you have to take action from it. I'm going to go grab mine real quick because I really feel like there's some things I need to share with you. I know that sounds crazy. You guys are like, this is such a weird Zoom. Yeah, I know. But you know what? You need it. I'll be back. I'm going to go grab it real quick. Okay. So this is notebook. Look at this. Papers in notebooks, written. Look, I'm a hot mess when it comes to writing stuff down. All these things. All these papers. Okay, so I want to share with you. Here's my glasses again. I made a list of things that I love. Okay, so actually I think there's 4 different pages in here. Hang on. All right. So this is something I recommend you do. One day I took this. Yeah, Einstein, you're so funny. Oh my God, I was listening to this podcast. Okay, so I had some reflexology today, okay? And I was re-listening to a podcast that I've already listened to. And I'll post it in the sold out page. I was going to earlier, I just didn't get to because I was just zen in my moment. But I had an hour of reflexology, and so this was 40 minutes. It's a Deepak Chopra and Jean. Oh, I can't think of her last name now. Anyway, I'll share it with you guys. But in there, she was talking about she's met Deepak's interviewing her on his podcast. She's met Einstein. She met him when she was a little girl, and he came to their class, whatever school she went to. She lived on Park Avenue in New York City, and so she was talking about Deepak was talking about all the greats that she got to be exposed to in her lifetime, and so Einstein was one of them. And he told the kids, Einstein, how do we get as smart as you? They were saying, how do we get as smart as you? And he said, what did he say? Read fairy tales or watch fairy tales. I think it was watch fairy tales. Yeah. And then he said, Einstein, how do we get smarter than you? Watch more fairy tales. Watch more fairy tales. So it was all about your imagination and all about being childlike and being like a little kid again. And that's how you get to be so smart. But everything I'm reading is all about that imagination. The imagination is the key. But so one of the things I did, and I've added to this list many, many times. This is front and back, just 4 pages here. But this is a list of my list of things that I love. Look, I put Arizona at the top now. Freaking love Arizona. We are going back. Maybe in just a few weeks, girlfriend, I'm ready. But anyways, a list of things that I love. And I started making a list of things. I'm just going to read some of them to you guys, okay? I'm obviously not going to read all of them. But anyway, I put Arizona on there. Greece, traveling abroad, clarity, God, divine love, divine experiences, divine guidance, my family, my dogs. At the time I had cats. I don't have my cats, but I still love them. Health, perfect health, healing, my kids, of course, obviously. My heart, coherence, the color green, working out. My healthy mind, being outside, going for walks, quantum living, animals, horses, dolphins, cows, San Diego. I'm going to San Diego next week. I'm so excited. Hawaii, my confidence, prayer, meditation, Italy, energy, Paris, massage, London, pedicures, chiropractic healing, my house, my pool, my lanai. Yoga, driving. I love driving. Just get out of my way. Vegan foods, traveling with friends, lunch with friends, rap cash, burpees. I love burpees. The Divine Matrix, books, reading, relaxing with my family, amazing adventures, going to parties, cleaning ladies. I love my cleaning ladies. I put them on here. I'm cracking up. I feel like I'm too. All right, Limitless. I love that movie, Limitless. Have you guys seen that with Bradley Cooper? I always say I feel like I'm running off the cliff. I'm running. I'm jumping. I posted that today. Entrepreneurs, they jump off the cliff and they build a plane on the way down. I'm like, so me. I'm just going, right? A team of coherent business partners. Brussels sprouts. Olive oil and almond butter. Oh, Alana, I made chocolate chip cookie dough fat bombs tonight. You're dead. Jackfruit nachos, almond milk, strawberries, kiwi planks. You know you want me just to cook for you. You know you're dying for me to cook for you. Buffalo cauliflower, flowers, plants, palm trees, running. Feeling, creativity. Leaders on my team, yachts, super yachts, boating with friends, camp for Taylor, long, deep conversations with friends, insightful conversations with gifted people, shopping for cute clothes. Alana, I went shopping today. You're gonna kill me. I went to that because I got my acupuncture, and then I went to get the reflexology in the mall. Well, Dillard's is right there. I'm like, I'm just gonna go see if they have one cute tank top. I just need one cute tank top. Yeah, 12 items later, I got a bag full of super cute clothes. Lots of positivity. Yes. Funny movies, funny things, laughing with friends, healthy makeup, speaking publicly, cute shoes. I did not buy shoes today, but I already have 100 pairs, so I'm totally fine. Skinny jeans. Ooh, I got a cute pair of skinny jeans today, too. Moon, sun, stars. Ooh, the movie Lucy, the movie Coherence, the movie Avatar, the movie Interstellar. Ooh, the movie Doctor Strange and the movie Captain Marvel. Yeah, so these are just some of the things, you guys. But what I'm saying is those types of things, put some paper on your counter. Put it in your bathroom, put it on your kitchen counter, take it on your work desk, and make a list of things that you love as they pop through your head. That's an easy way to have an attitude adjustment, is to focus on the things that you love, the things that bring you joy, the things that bring you happiness. And those things are what's going to be your foundation for the next year, for the next week, obviously, as you continue to expand on this list. Another thing, and I want to share this with you guys, that I did, I wrote my love story. This one's only 7 pages long, but I wrote 7 pages of my love story. What is your love story? What does your ideal love story look like? And it can be a story of your life, obviously, but a love story with your partner. I have never in my life sat down and written a love story. Never. I don't know where this stuff's come from. In the month of friction, Stacy has written a lot. And so I wrote my love story. I wrote a lot of other things too about what I want in relationships and in partnerships and with business partners. And, oh, that's a good one. Pioneer power, servants, love, and devotion. I write some crazy good stuff down. All right. So I want you to take some time and do that, to write some things down. But I do want to share some other things with you on a more of a technical term, right? So there's this podcast. I'm always listening. Ooh, that's a good saying too. I forget I write this stuff down. Listen to this one. Acting in the space of passion equals gold mine. That's a good one. Acting in the space of passion equals a gold mine. That was good. I was talking to one of my friends, and that was inspired during our conversation. Acting in the space of passion. I'm going to take a picture of that. Equals a gold mine. That's Priceless right there. Damn, that's good. All right. So I was listening to this other podcast. It was Ed Milet, and it was a few weeks ago. And it was, or maybe a month ago now. I don't know. But anyways, it was on making radical shifts in your life. So there's two ways to make radical shifts. And he was talking specifically on how to trick the brain. So let me make sure I've got these in order. To shock the system, the brain has to go to work to prove that you're right. Okay? So you're going to trick your brain into believing that you're worth this next level life. Okay. So I'll share the podcast with you too. It was really good, really, really good. But he talks about basically your thermostat. Okay. So your thermostat, like your temperature in your house, right? It's set at 72 degrees. That's what mine's set at right now. You know, maybe the door's open because I leave the door open all the time. It may get up to 74, but then eventually that thermostat's going to overcompensate and it's going to bring it back down to 72, right? We hope it is. So that's the whole, thing there. So basically your thermostat is what you believe you're worth. So the thoughts, concepts, and beliefs that you hold true about yourself. Okay? Do you get that? What you believe you're worth, the thoughts, concepts, and beliefs you hold to be true about yourself. So elevating your temperature. Say, for example, your temperature is, let's talk about income. Maybe your income is set at like $2,000 a month. So how to elevate that temperature, that income. Maybe you want it to be $3,000 a month. So elevating that temperature in the areas that matter, okay? Powerful and easy way to do it. There's two things that I want you guys to realize. The first thing is adding people to your circle. So you're going to alter your thermostat by association. And what that means is I've lived this my whole life, and I'm sure you guys have heard this. You are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with the most, right? So if you look at the 5 people that you're around the most, and I don't mean like, oh, my crappy coworkers, or maybe you have great coworkers. I mean the people that you associate with the most. Who do you hang out with? Who do you talk to? Who do you text? Who are you on the phone with? Who are you interacting with on a regular basis? Who do you hang out with on the weekends? Or if you go out with friends, like look at those people. It may be family members, or it may be friends, or maybe coworkers, or it may be like little children. That would be, you're going to need to get some adult friends, right? If you're a stay-at-home mom and you're hanging out with kids all the time, you might want to get some adult friends. But the thing is, the people that you surround yourself with the most, you look at their income divided by 5. If there's 5 people, right, you and 4 others, then look at their income, your income. They're probably going to be pretty close to the same. Okay. Which if we're looking at income, that's totally fine, right? Maybe you're like, oh, this is great. This is good. Is there somebody in that income level that's higher than you? Or maybe look at their energy level. Look at their positivity level versus their negativity level. Are they drama for your mama? Are they bitching, complaining, moaning, and groaning all the time? Or are they like uplifters all the time? So you can look at different areas with these 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. Okay. I love, there's this one thing, I'll have to find it in my book. It's Tony Robbins, and it's like a big circle, and it has maybe like 10 different categories, and like health and finances and, relationships and different ways that you feel within each of those. And he has you kind of rate those for yourself personally, like on a scale of 1 to 10, and it ends up looking like a kind of like a circle that looks like this, kind of zigzagged. And you want it to all be one great big circle. You want it to all be 10, right? So there's areas, you have it in your book. Yeah, that was super cool, right? So if you can find it alone, I don't think you're home yet, but anyway, those people that you surround yourself with, you want to do an inventory of that, because again, what you're doing now for the rest of this month, take a really good look at it. That's going to set up your foundation for the next year. What are the kind of people that you want to be around? The high vibe people, the positive, the uplifting, the inspirational, and I'm not saying everybody in your group has to be above you and you're like low man on the totem pole. That doesn't make sense, right? But is there somebody in your sphere that's knocking it out of the park? Is there somebody that's blowing it out of the water as far as income goes? Is there somebody that's traveling or doing things that you're aspiring to do, right? Is there somebody that has that great relationship that you're loving to have? Is there somebody that has their health, check, perfect, and their motivation, inspiration for you? Okay, so it doesn't mean that, they all have to be the top and you're the bottom. But look at those different areas and think, do I have people in my circle like this, or do I have Debbie Downers? Do I have people that are constantly ticking me off? I'm arguing with them, or they're, they're playing games on their phones, or the Xbox thing, or I don't know, what do people play? PlayStation? I don't know. Are they playing games? Some people do. They play those games on the computer and on their phones and stuff. And, are they out there like big dream, big goals? Or are they like, nah, I'm going to be at this 9 to 5 job for the rest of my life and I don't care. Life sucks. I hate it. You know what I mean? So think about that. So by association, you can make radical shifts in your life. And sometimes that means people that you love, right? Maybe family or friends that you care about, you don't necessarily maybe surround yourself with as much. So who would be somebody that you could add to your circle? Who could be somebody that you'd reach out to and say, hey, let's have lunch. Hey, I'd love to let's go grab a cup of coffee. I've done that to a lot of people. Like Donna, at the gym at Orange Theory, there's a lot of people that come in there, right? A lot of people that have very flexible schedules and they travel a lot. When you get talking to people are all over the board. They're like, oh, like Stacy. I was in there last week. I'm like, girl, I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to Sedona. And I said, when I get back, I'm going to San Diego the week after that. And she goes, I know I'm going to be gone the last week too. I was talking to one of my friends last night and he asked if I want to go to London the last week of July. And she's like, yeah, so I just booked a flight. Sure, I'm going to London. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Somebody that could be like, yep, I think I'm out. 2 weeks, I'm going to London. Peace out. You know what I mean? Just to be able to have that freedom and flexibility. People in your lives that have, bigger goals or dreams and want to travel and explore, or whatever the things are that are important to you. Those are just things that are important to me. I love to travel. I love to explore. I love to see new things. Donna is going on the same trip, basically, in Sedona that I am on Monday. It's crazy. It was like step by step what I was doing. She's like, yeah, I got that booked. Yep, gonna go there. Yep, gonna do that. So cool. So surround yourself. Pick somebody to go ask to have coffee with. That maybe is a friend of yours on Facebook, or maybe set up a phone call with somebody if they're not local. You can text message people that aren't local all the time, right? I do it. And so get some other people. Donna is awesome. Alana, she's like, Donna seems so awesome. She is. She's my gym buddy. Yes, she is so awesome. But just a great, great person. Donna, I would love for you to share your before and after pictures. They are incredible. So you decide, no pressure, but man, they're incredible. I haven't shared them, I swear, but it's so hard. It's so hard because you're so good. It looks incredible. But anyways, you guys, not sure how on here. Yeah, you can pull them up, push your picture up in front of you guys got it. Do you want me to do it? Do you want me to hold it up? Look at this. Can you guys see this? Isn't that incredible? Isn't that awesome? Look at her difference. 10 pounds. But it looks so much different than that, doesn't it? Whoops. No nudes. Just playing. Totally not. Right? But look at that. See how awesome? I know. Isn't that cool? Yes. It works. All right. So surround yourself with some people that are going to inspire you. The second way that you can, and Dawn, if you have anything you want to add, of course, feel free to type in the chat. But the second way that you can radically shift 10 pounds naked, a difference. I love it. Oh, that's awesome. Yes. 10 pounds makes a big difference naked. It does. You're like, yeah, I'm looking good. But so the second way is by a 30-day push. Okay. So a big push, a big challenge in some way, a 30-day challenge. So in order to shock yourself into a new way, a new habit, a new pattern. So whether it's with your health, whether it's with your business, maybe it's, your career, whatever, finances, things like that. But 30 days of committed daily intensity of something towards your goal. So like right now, Alana's, it's all right, you're good, girl. Alana is doing a 30-day detox of certain foods in her life. So she's cutting certain foods out and adding in different foods, making healthier choices. Not that she wasn't eating healthy, but healthier, you know what I mean? Doing a 30-day detox on certain types of foods. So, getting rid of all the inflammatories and things like that to make a big difference in her health. And so maybe, you need to look at different areas of your life and say, where can I do a 30-day challenge? What can I do for 30 days? Because, they always say 21 days makes a habit. Like for me, the Abundance book, it's a 40-day prosperity plan. So obviously that goes past that 30 days, but it's committed every single day. Every single day. Would you say? Oh, yeah, you asked me to coffee, didn't you? That was fun. You took off. Yeah, we had our keto coffee conversations. Ketones or life. They're life. Right here. Look, keto. I've got my ketones in there. Can you guys see them? So yummy. Yes. So what can you do to raise that mark, raise that waterline, to behave differently, to do things differently in your health or in your job or your career or your finances? If it's with it works, like what can you do differently for the next 30 days in this business? Obviously, I know we have a week left in July. So you're going to go a little beyond into August, obviously all of August. So what can you do in your business? Could you make 10 more phone calls? Could you make 100 more text messages? Could you book 5 more appointments per week? What can you do differently every single day to help get you to your goal faster, more effectively? Right? So it's that 30-day push to shock that system. It's your commitment. And you're saying, I'm doing this. I'm all in. I'm committed. I'm going to make these changes and I'm going to do this every single day because I know it's going to lead me to my goal. Okay. So I'm going to read a couple things to you because this is like when I was listening to the podcast, when there are key parts like super important to me, I will stop and rewind and write word for word. So I want to share this with you guys, kind of like in the Power Path, like certain things stick out to me and it's super important. So in a short window of time, you begin to behave differently. Your brain begins to believe you deserve something differently. When you begin to do the things no one else is willing to do, you begin to believe you deserve the results nobody else deserves to get. Beliefs are so important to guard. Once you have a belief, your brain has to go to work to prove to you that it's real. Your brain goes to work on finding the evidence to prove you right. If you believe a certain worth about yourself, a certain identity, that impacts the amount of action you are willing to take. Pick a goal to the extent you believe it's consistent with your identity, is to the extent you will make an effort towards it. To the extent that you believe it is to your identity. That's crazy. So set a goal that's inconsistent with an identity you're working on. You will only make an effort with the identity which will only get you to here and produces the result which reinforces the belief you have about yourself. As you set new goals, you upgrade your identity. So if you're stuck in a story. There's a story you're telling yourself that doesn't serve you anymore. So if you're stuck in your business, if you're stuck at your health, if you're stuck in your relationship, if you're stuck with your finances, you're stuck in a story, AKA new stories, right? New things that I've been writing down all month long. Because it's not that I'm like in a bad place. I cannot complain about my life at all. As far as I'm super grateful, super blessed. I don't feel like I've talked to some people, especially here recently, that have been suicidal. And so, life's amazing, right? But we all have life. We all have things that we're working on. We all have situations and things that we want to improve on. So there's some things that I felt stuck in, and I feel like I wanted to move to that next level, which is perfect that this, podcast came along, right? So there's a story you're telling yourself that doesn't serve you anymore. Every time you live in that old story, you are stripping time from the new story. So if I go back to what I said before, because this is, I love this. No one cares about the old story. The key is addiction to my identity, awareness to the power of creating your life and what's no longer needed. Never tell the old story. So I want to go back to this part about the brain because I want you to understand this. In a short window of time, because this is the part that I'm like, I had to write this down. In a short window of time, the short window of time is 30 days, you guys, 30 days. You begin to behave differently. Your brain begins to believe you deserve something differently. Because remember, you're doing different things every day. You're making more contacts, you're making more appointments, you're doing more events, you're talking to more people, you're eating different foods, you're maybe writing your gratitude journal, you're meditating daily, you're doing things every day on a consistent basis different than you have before. Okay, so something. You don't have to do all of it. Don't be like, I can't do all of this. Pick an area of your life you want to focus on, right? I was talking to Donna today about meditations. And we were talking, I had sent her a podcast on Dr. Joe. And so we were talking about his meditations. I've listened to Abraham Hicks forever. I've listened to Dr. Joe Dispenza forever. And so there's different meditations that I do at different times and for different reasons, right? So it depends on my time, how much I have. But doing whatever it is for you that you want to do consistently for the next 30 days. If it's in your health, you're going to need to eat things different, right? Like Donna has done, like Alana has done, right? Some of you guys that have lost weight, you're eating. Kelsey started going to the gym again, right? And so she's making different health choices, eating different foods, right? Tried some vegan things in Michigan. Beet chocolate cake. Like I would fly back just for that. Nothing else, but the people that were in Port Huron, obviously. But fly back for that cake. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so if in a short window of time you begin to behave differently, your brain begins to believe you deserve something differently. Here's the key part. So when you begin to do things no one else is willing to do, you begin to believe you deserve results that nobody else deserves to get. And it's not like you're like, oh, I'm better than them, I deserve this, and they don't. You're tricking your brain. You're saying, I'm doing this work. I'm consistent. I'm doing these things. I deserve more, better, healthier, wiser, fitter, wealthier, whatever, right? Beliefs are so important to guard. Once you have a belief, your brain has to go to work to prove you to be true. Your brain goes to work on finding the evidence to prove you right. And if you believe a certain worth about yourself, a certain identity, that impacts the amount of action you are willing to take. Now think about this. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't feel you're worthy, what kind of action are you going to take? So you have to use your willpower, you guys. I'm going to start the Science of Getting Rich again in August when the kids get back to school. But you have to use your willpower over yourself. Nobody's going to make you write in your journal. Nobody's going to make you meditate. Nobody's going to make you sit in silence. Nobody's going to make you make phone calls or book appointments or go have coffee with people. Nobody's going to make you eat the chicken and vegetables over the burger and fries. It's you and your willpower. And that's what Dr. Joe was talking about today is you've got to do this for yourself. You've got to get control of yourself and stop letting the body, the chemicals, the habits, the old patterns and old beliefs run yourself, run your life. You got to take control. You got to be like, hey, I am going to rewire, reprogram. I am going to do things differently. I'm going to take control of my life, myself, my feelings, my thoughts, my body, my environment, my finances, my relationships, my health. Because again, who's writing the story? Do you think you're a victim? Do you think things are just happening to you? Stuff's just random? I got dealt a bad card, a bad set of cards and a bad hand? Or she's lucky or he's lucky and I'm not lucky, or I was born there or I wasn't born there. She must have grown up with, money, or there was no struggles, or that's all victim mentality, right? So we have to take ownership for ourselves. Be grateful for the things that have happened for us our entire life, because it's made us who we are today. And you're here on this Zoom, so you're resilient. So you want more, or you wouldn't be here. Like, what is Stacy even doing a Zoom in on what? An attitude adjustment? What is she talking about? Who knows? Because this girl is crazy, right? I'm my own kind of crazy. Okay? Rachel's like, yup, Larissa, hey girl. Yes, right? Some stuff just comes out of me and you don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to be. I seriously didn't. I just knew I had to read that one paragraph from the Power Path. That's it. That's all I knew. And then all this other stuff just comes. That's God. He just goes. She just goes. You want God to be a man or woman? I don't care. Whatever. It's a presence. It just all that comes out, right? But you have control over you. You have control. Did you see that light just come on? Did you see the light change in here? It was like, whew, the whole change of my screen just changed. You have control over you. And of course, if you have children under the age of 18, you have control over them too, because they are your children. And you do parent them, right? And actually, they parent you. That's another podcast. If you're interested in conscious parenting, that's how I've parented my kids, or they've parented me. That's a great one to listen to. Dr. Shefali, I'll send you that. So if there's any podcast you guys want, the things I'm like rattling off, just send me a private message and be like, send me that podcast on that. Send me that audio on that. Because I listen to so many of them, right? So remember, if you're stuck, you're just stuck in your story, and it's time to change your story, and you get to write your story. I remember years ago, one of my friends said, Stacy, I want you, it was Christmas time. She goes, I want you to write it, what your ideal day would look like, where you are, what you're doing, everything. This was like 2000, I want to say it was like 2013 or 2014. And it was Christmas time. And she said, take it, fold it up and put it in your ornaments. And where you keep your ornaments in your ornament bag, put it in your closet. And then next year when you get your ornaments out, I want you to read that and tell me what it says. And so I sat down and I wrote like front and back, and I wrote, this had to have been 2014, like 13, Christmas of 2013. It was going into maybe 2014. And I wrote all about the house that I had in Florida, and taking walks on the beach, and the kids going to school, and being able to work out and enjoy the weather, and sit on my lanai and have my pool out back, and all of this, okay? None of it was real at the time. None of it. 1 year later, I'm taking all my stuff. I'm in Indiana still. I'm taking all my stuff out for Christmas, right? It's going to be our last Christmas in Indiana because we're moving to Florida January 9th. And I pull that paper out, and there it was. All of it that I had written. All of it. All the qualities and characteristics of the house, 3-car garage, pool, neighborhood, school. All of it was right there on paper, and it wasn't even anything that I even had ever seen. It was just what I wanted my ideal life to look like 1 year from then. You guys, it happened. It was so crazy. I remember the moment Brent's like, why don't we just, because it was like, I put that paper away, like in 2014, and it was like April, and we actually came down here to Florida for a green carpet, and he said, why don't we look at like renting a place for the winter? And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And then we started looking, and we found a place, and he's like, why don't we take that money for the house for 2 months, and let's just build a house and put a down payment on it. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. It was like all this stuff just started to happen from that piece of paper. So what I'm telling you, I'm going to end tonight with the stories that you're writing, the things that you're taking time to write over the next 6-7 days, your list of things that you love. I want that to be out on your counter. Your love story, what you want your relationship to be like with your lover, your partner, and your relationships with your friends and your family members, and your 5 people that you're surrounding yourself with, you're talking to the most, you're hanging out with the most, you're conversing with the most, what you want your health to look like, your business, your finances, your bank account, all of that, because this is a foundational time. I just, it's so like, I feel it so strongly in me that it's such a foundational time for the next year. Holly's living it. That's awesome. You wrote down your dream schedule at the retreat in March and now you're living it. Oh, that's super awesome. Super awesome. But again, I can't make you do your journals. I can't make you write your stories. I can't make you make your list of things you love. You have your willpower over yourself, right? And it might be, there was about 40, 45 people on here. Maybe, grab somebody that was on here. Obviously, I'm going to share the recording, or grab somebody that's on your team, or grab a sideline sister, maybe an accountability partner. Because I know a lot of times, like, I'll take pictures of my stuff and I'll send it to Alana. And she's like, oh my God, that's so great that you sent me that, because it just gives me ideas and ways to think that I didn't think before. Because we all think differently, because we all have different experiences, backgrounds, and, things that we've done or not done, right? And so sometimes it's really good just to share with other people your story, or your things that you love, or how you want your relationships to be, or your finances to be, in your ideal life, ideal situation, ideal imagination, right? You're going to turn that thermostat up in all of those areas. So find somebody that you can partner with, or buddy with, or maybe even a group, and get yourself in a little chat like on Facebook where you can share the pictures. You can write your stuff down and then take pictures of it. And some of it's personal. Like some of the stuff in here, I mean, I would share everything in here with Alana, because I've verbally shared everything in here with her. Some of it's crazy, but I would share everything with her. But some of it may be too personal that you're like, I don't want to share those intimate details with people that I don't necessarily know so well. But then on the other hand, maybe it'd be like, wow, didn't know that was possible. All right, I need to put that on my list, because I know Alana's done that to me a lot, where I'm like, oh my God, I never even knew that could happen. All right, well, I'm going to write that down. I want to experience that too, because she's crazy, right? And so maybe grab somebody and do that, and get yourself a partner that you do that with. I know she's dying. We're dying, aren't we? Stop wasting air. Dead, exactly. How many times a day do we say that? Dead. Oh my God, crazy. But you guys, I appreciate you hopping on here tonight and rolling with me with all the stuff that just rolled out. But I'll share the podcast in the sold out page, and I'll get the recording of this up as well too. So then that way you guys can go back. I listen to podcasts every day, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of them, I'm in a chat with Pam Souter. You guys know Pam Souter. I'm in a chat with Pam and Carla Burns, her daughter Kay, and Laura Balzer and Sarah Rankin. And so we call ourselves the Mastermind. It's a text chat. And so we share a lot of things back and forth with each other, a lot of podcasts. And Pam is huge into like Oprah's Super Soul Sunday podcast, Deepak Chopra. And so we share a lot of things that we're listening to. And obviously with Carla, she's got her PhD, and where I'm getting my PhD from. And so we have a lot of people that we, Dr. Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden and Dr. Bruce Lipton, and people that we're listening to that are very much on the cutting edge, leading edge, Abraham Hicks of thoughts create your reality, and your words create your world. And we're not just victims here. We're creating, we are co-creating together. And so when you come together in unity and say, I want to partner with you, I want to work with you, I want to do this, I want to be a part of this, show me, lead me, guide me, right? I mean, I can't read the books for you or listen to the podcast for you, but I can share them with you, and you can listen to them, and you can read the books. I'm constantly sharing books or pages from books, pictures they'll take, and books that I'm reading, podcasts that I'm reading. I share every day, because I read every day, I listen every day, because I want to live an extraordinary life. I want to always be working on myself and improving myself and becoming the best version of myself. And that only happens by self-development, personal growth and development. Listening and expanding your mind, your consciousness, and your awareness. And Pam and I get really deep. We get really deep off the deep end. So I can keep it super simple, and I can also go really crazy deep with it. That's why Alana calls me Einstein, because I get out there. But I appreciate you guys. You're very welcome. Very, very welcome. I appreciate you being on here. And you want to know how the massage went? Oh, Let's just say the last 30 minutes of it, they did a third eye activation. Your third eye is right here. And I was laying back, obviously, and they took hot, not hot, burning hot, but warm safflower oil. And for 30 minutes, poured this oil all over my forehead and my scalp, all in my hair, all over my forehead and scalp and in my hair. There was this like thing that was like, it was like a copper ball, and it had a drip at the bottom of it. And so this oil, and they just kind of took it back and forth very slowly. I had an Ayurvedic 2-person massage. 2 people massaged me at the same time for 90 minutes. And so that last 30 minutes, Rachel's face is so confused. That last 30 minutes was, yeah, mind-blowing. We'll just put it that way. It was mind-blowing. She's like, wait, what? Yeah, I had that 90-minute massage. Then I had a 90-minute dosha wrap. Then I grabbed a little bite to eat outside. And then I had a 90-minute facial. So yeah, Miyamo Enchantment Resort, Sedona, Arizona. Highly recommend it. Going back like this year. It was incredible. Definitely want to do it again. Yeah. So anyways, you guys, dream big, dream bigger. I put that on my dream board this year. I didn't even know what it was. The Miyamo Spa. And boom, there it is. So it's all good. And the Grand Canyon. Oh my God, the Grand Canyon. Talk about expansive. I can't even. I mean, I flew over it. I walked it. I boated. We boated all down. You can't even. The Colorado River, you just can't even. I don't even know. It's just crazy huge. And we're like, oh, and then there's this little problem. And you're like, wait a minute, what? There's this massive, yeah, one of the 7 wonders of the world. But anyways, you guys, thank you. Have a great evening. And feel free to message me if you have any questions or anything, or you're just like, want to be like, hey, send me that, or let's talk about this. So have a fabulous evening.